देवहि सदनन्दिता सामन्त्रियतु सरस्वती निशेष जाड्यापः निशेष जाड्यापः। ओम गणपति नमः।
ओम श्री।
Good morning, all of you.
Good morning.
I, on the behalf of All Odisha Philosophy Association, I welcome all of you. Honorable President Professor Saroj Kumar Mohanty, Vice President Professor Ganesh Prasad Das, Advisor Professor Prof Mohapatra, Chief Guest Professor Sachchidananda Mishra, Member Secretary ICPR New Delhi, Guest of Honor Sri Jagannath Das, formerly lecturer in philosophy and eminent writer, Chief Editor Professor Chandra Majhi, AOPA, Journal of AOPA, and Treasurer Dr. Basant Kumar Das, and General Secretary Dr. Bhaskar Chandra. I welcome all of you. Now I handed over mic to Professor Saroj Kumar Mohanty, President AOPA, to preside over the inaugural session.
सरोज बाबू आसिले ना नहीं
सर आशिक अछंत सर कहले
देखा जाऊ नहीं तो
सरोज बाबू देखा जाउछंती किंतु कोन कहउछंती ऑडिबल होउनी म्यूट कर दैछंती बोधे
नहीं सर लाइन रे अछंती।
हां
ए लखन दाटे फोन करी कह दियो
सर सर
मु सर फोन करछु जोन सर करछु।
हां हां कह दियो म्यूट कर दैछ बोधे
म्यूट कर दैछंती ऑडिबल होउनी।
Sorry. Now I am audible.
Sir, namaskar.
I am audible.
हाँ सर नमस्कार सर।
I think I am audible now.
Sorry sir quite audible.
Okay. हमारा निखिल उत्कल दर्शन परिषद 34तम वार्षिक अधिवेशन को आप समस्त को मोर सादर निमंत्रण। आज सम्मानीय अतिथि वृंद मध्य अच्छा प्रोफेसर सच्चिदानंद मिश्र, श्रीयुक्त जगन्नाथ प्रसाद दास, प्रोफेसर गोदावरी मिश्र, आज संबर्धित होउथुवा जो हमर शिक्षक वृंद जो माने आम परिषदर उपदेष्टा प्रोफेसर कुमार महापात्र, परिषदर कार्यकारी कार्यनिर्वाही कमिटीर सदस्यगण, परिषदर यही अधिवेशन रे जोग देइथिबा समस्त सदस्य को मोर आंतरिक अभिनंदन। विशेष करी यही अधिवेशन रे जोग देइथिबा गणमाध्यम विशिष्ट व्यक्ति मानकु मोर सादर निमंत्रण। बंधुगण शुभ सकाळ। नुआ वर्ष 2022 रे आम समस्त को मोर अभिनंदन। नुआ वर्ष आपण मानक पई मंगलमय हेउ, कोविड मुक्त हेउ, एटा मोर प्रभु जगन्नाथ पाखरे आम समस्त आराध्य देवता प्रभु जगन्नाथ पाखरे आंतरिक प्रार्थना। विगत 2 वर्ष है कोविड प्रादुर्भाव में आम समस्ते प्रभावित, अल्पे बहुते समस्ते प्रभावित। आम भर अनेक आमर निजर अति प्रिय लोक हरइचे एवं अनेक बारंबार यही रोग पीड़ित होइचे। आज अनेक मेंबर आमर सदस्य यही कोविड रे प्रभावित होइछंती एवं विशेषकर आमर तो मोहिन बाबू जे के या को ऑर्गेनाइज करियार थिला संबलपुर रे से आज प्रभावित। आज नेताजी जयंती आम उत्कलर 2 महाबरपुत्र स्वाधीनता संग्रामी देश मुक्तिर अविस्मरणीय योद्धा नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस और वीर सुरेंद्र साई जयंती अवसर में आपण मान तरफ मोर भक्तिपूत श्रद्धांजलि ज्ञापन करी से आमर ये कार्यक्रम आरंभ करुच्ची। ना आम फिलोसफी निखिल उत्तर दर्शन परिषद यह 52 वर्षर पुराना 1970 आम यहाँ आरंभ करूँ। आमर समस्त गुरुजी प्रोफेसर गणेश मिश्र यार प्रतिष्ठाता अध्यक्ष जहाँ आशीर्वाद जहाँ दबदान यही एसोसिएशन प्रति परिषद प्रति रही आसी जो आम समस्त आज एकाठी हो पारिछे यही गत 52 वर्षर उत्तरोत्तर जो आमर आम लाभ कर सबू केवल से ही व्यक्ति प्रातस्मरणीय प्रोफेसर गणेश मिश्र आशीर्वाद प्रचेषा आरंभ होता। आज आम से महान व्यक्तित्व को आमर भक्तिपूत श्रद्धांजलि अर्पण कर सब तरफ मुझे आमर भक्तिपूत श्रद्धांजलि अर्पण करुँची। 52 वर्ष भितर आम तो बहुत किछि पाइचु, बहुत किछि बाकी अच्छी। सॉरी वाला मुझे कहना चाहूँगी आम एसोसिएशन विषय में मत क्षमा करिए मु इंग्राजी में कह कारण मु आगे प्रिपेयर कर नथिली इस विषय। ओवर द लास्ट 52 years AOPA has established itself as the only association in Odisha for providing a forum for exchange of philosophical ideas and for presentation of philosophical publications of scholarly papers in philosophy. The papers published in the proceedings are properly edited by the editorial team to ensure the quality of papers published regardless of the school of thought or point of view expressed. I am glad that this journal has received recognition from different angles, different sources. The ICPR has been helping us. The journal is regularly published. It has been mentioned in the UGC list of journals. And another organization which has been helping us, as you are aware, the association meets every year. The ICPR has been helping us in organizing the annual sessions and in bringing out its publications regularly. We express our sincere gratitude to the Council for its support and financial assistance. The Member Secretary, Professor Sachchidananda Mishra, is with us. Through him, we express our gratitude to the ICPR. he will also convey our feelings to the chairman. As for more than 50 years, the association has been active. We are the proud inheritors of a great tradition started by Professor Ganesh Mishra. We should record our gratitude to the illustrious persons who started this association in right earnest. The founder president, Professor Ganesh Mishra, the General Secretary, Professor Prasad Mishra, are no more, but they continue to guide and inspire us through their intellectual contributions to philosophy and organizing efforts. We are also proud inheritors of a great tradition of antiquity of this sacred land of Odisha. The rich and syncretic character of traditions, philosophical, spiritual, religious, and cultural heritage are unique. So, with these few words, I welcome you all. Now, let us proceed with the activities. I now request Professor Ganesh Prasad Das, the Vice President of AOPA, to please welcome the guests of today's meeting. Professor Ganesh Prasad.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Shubha Sakalo, good morning, greetings, and namaste to one and all present in the cloud chamber on the occasion of the 34th annual conference of All Odisha Philosophy Association. We are meeting online for the second time consecutively as the danger of the COVID pandemic still persists. The country is celebrating Amrit Mahotsav of 75 years of India's independence and 125th Janma Jayanti of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose.
Ganesh, how to keep my mic? You are not very बहुत slow है my voice.
अच्छी अच्छी पाखर अच्छी तरह नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम थी वो पाखर ही अच्छी.
Please proceed.
The country is celebrating Amrit Mahotsav of 75 years of India's independence and 125th Janma Jayanti of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. We bow down to Netaji's dauntless fight to achieve independence. Fearlessness is the golden teaching of philosophy, preeminently of the Bhagavad Gita, which is the contribution of India to the world. Subhash has the glory of earning a degree in philosophy from Scottish Church College, Kolkata in 1919. And it is glorious for us that we are holding the annual conference of AOPA on his birthday. Many glorious persons have assembled here on the virtual platform in this inaugural session, and my duty now is to introduce them to you. You better know them all. I simply would glorify myself in speaking about them. Still then, let me do it for the sake of its rituality at the least. My teacher and teacher of many teachers present here, Professor Saroj Mohanty, MA and PhD in philosophy from Utkal University, retired as professor and head from his alma mater in 2005, is the executive president of AOPA and president of this function. He has done excellent research work on philosophy of action. He is Catholic in his attitude, like Jaina philosophers. He has also worked on. Professor Prof. Kumar Mohapatra, advisor of AOPA, is MA Gold Medalist in philosophy from Utkal, PhD from Keele University, England, Fulbright Research Fellow and ICPR National Fellow, retired from Utkal University as Professor and Coordinator of CAS in Philosophy, Center of Advanced Studies in Philosophy. My teacher and teacher of teachers who has worked on philosophy of mind and applied ethics is very positive and pragmatic in outlook. Now, the General President, Professor Godavari Mishra, our man from Noyagad, who has won many gaudages in his life in the national and international fields. Dr. Godavari Mishra is at present Professor and Head, School of Buddhist Studies, Philosophy and Comparative Religion, Nalanda University, Rajgir, Bihar. He is formerly chairperson of the School of Philosophy and Religious Studies, as well as Professor and Head, Department of Philosophy, University of Madras. He has also served as Member Secretary of the Indian Council of Philosophical Research in New Delhi from 2007 to 2011. Before joining Nalanda University, he was a visiting professor at IIT Bhubaneswar 2018 to 2021. He was also a visiting professor at Oxford Centre for Hindu Studies, Oxford, UK, and at the Mahatma Gandhi Institute, Mauritius. Professor Mishra's area of specialization are Indian philosophical systems, Buddhism, Advaita Vedanta, consciousness research, and hermeneutics. Besides 5 books, he has published more than 70 research papers in national and international journals. He was awarded the Charles Wallace Visiting Fellowship at Oxford University, UK in 1995. I welcome happily Professor Godavari Mishra to our midst. Professor Sachchidananda Mishra is our chief guest. He is very dear to us and very dear for us. Dear to us as he was with us for 9 years in Odisha and he loves Odisha. Dear for us because he is so busy these days. He is wanted everywhere. I have seen him addressing meets from the moving car. Professor Mishra assumed the responsibility of the post of Member Secretary in the Indian Council of Philosophical Research on 8th June 2021. He is a well-known academician in the areas of Indian logic and epistemology, conceptual development of Navya Advaita Vedanta, Shuddhadvaita Vedanta, Kashmiri Cyber schools, and Indian aesthetics. Besides being an erudite scholar in classical philosophy and literature in Sanskrit. He is a well-known academician in the areas of Indian logic and epistemology, conceptual development of Navya Advaita Vedanta, Shuddhadvaita Vedanta, Kashmiri Cyber schools, and Indian aesthetic. That is repeated. He is a professor of philosophy and religion at the Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, since 2010, where he joined as a reader in 2004. He served as a lecturer in NAYA in Rashtriya Sanskrit Sanstana, deemed university, Sadashiva campus, Puri, after shifting from a college where he started his initial teaching career in Sanskrit since 1996. He has his Vidya Bharati PhD in Nyayamate Ishwarasya Darshanantara Drushti Paryalochanam in 1997. He has a triple master's degree in Navya, Shankara Vedanta, and Sanskrit Sahitya. He has also been a recipient of Maharshi Badarayana Vyasa Samman, that is a presidential award, for the year 2009, besides being selected by ICPR for the prestigious Sanskrit chair at the Sorbonne Noble University, Paris in 2012. He has authored and edited 11 noted books, basically in the field of Nyaya Vedanta and other areas of philosophy and Sanskrit literature. He has also edited the Eminent research journal Annukhiki, volume 7 to volume 11. He has contributed chapters in various books and published more than 50 research papers in various journals. He has been invited as a research person in academic events like seminars, conferences, and workshops, and special lecture programs, and his contribution in them are well uploaded. I heartily welcome Dr. Mishra to our midst, so dear and near to us. Our guest of honor is Sri Jagannath Das, an old timer in philosophy and a life member and regular participant of AOPA. Graduate with honors in philosophy in first class first and distinction in other papers from Samanta Chandrasekhar College, Puri in the year 1959. His MA philosophy in the first class first, winning the university gold medal from Utkal University in the year 1961. He joined as an ad hoc lecturer in philosophy in the university in July 1961. And then he resigned from the university and joined the State Bank of India as a probationary officer in September 1961. He happens to be the first probationary officer of Odisha joining State Bank of India. Retired from SBI service as Deputy General Manager. He is whole time engaged in philosophical study and research. Philosophy has remained his first love. He has written several books, Shankaracharya's Isavasya Upanishad, Shankaracharya's Vivek Chudamani, and he has translated into English Professor Ganesh Mishra's book, Vaidika Dharma or Darsana. Professor Ratnagrapati Memorial Lecture will be delivered by Dr. Amulya Ranjana Mohapatra. He has gladly accepted the assignment at a very short notice. He served as a lecturer, reader in logic and philosophy under government of Odisha from 1972 to 2001, and he was vice principal in BJP Autonomous College Bhubaneswar, DAV College Koraput, and he retired as principal in DAV Junior College Koraput in 2001. He was awarded UGC Teacher Fellowship and various research projects by the UGC, ICSSR, ASRC, and completed these research work successfully. Dr. Mohapatra has written a number of books in English and Odia and published a number of research papers in different journals. He has earned a reputation as a writer, editor, lyricist, orator, social worker, and became a recipient of many certificates, medals, and honorary titles. He is associated with various cultural, educational, and spiritual organizations. Some of his published books include Philosophy of Religion, The Idea of Inaccessible, a Philosophical Analysis, Hinduism, An Analytical Study, Value System, The Freedom Fighter, Bir Surendra Sai, Social Philosophy of Swami Vivekananda, Philosophy of Peace and Value Education. Now, he is the president of Swami Vivekananda Vidyapitha and Sri Ramakrishna Vidya Mandir of Koraput. Bharatiya Dharma Darsana, Ramakrishna Paramahansa ଓ ସ୍ୱାମୀ ବିବେକାନନ୍ଦଙ୍କ ଜୀବନ ଦର୍ଶନ, ଶରଣାଗତ, ନୀତିକଥା, ଅନୁଚିନ୍ତା, ସଦାଚାର are some of his books in Odia. I welcome Dr. Mohapatra to this conference. Dr. Bhaskar Chandra Sahu is General Secretary of AOPA. He is MA from Utkal University and PhD from Rani Durgavati University, Jabalpur. He has taught in different colleges of the state and is at present the Professor of Philosophy under KISS University, Bhubaneswar. Dr. Basant Kumar Das is the Treasurer of AOPA. He is at present teaching at Utkal University, Bani Vihar as guest faculty in philosophy after his retirement from OES. Last, he served in Majhi Women's University, Bhubaneswar. Our student, Lieutenant Dr. Lakshman Patra, is the head of the Department of Philosophy of BD College, Jaipur, Koraput, and he is now acting as the surrogate organizer of this session of AOPA. The less said about him, the better, because I happen to be his PhD guide. Anything I say will be treated as eulogization of Lakshman. I would say this much, that he is not a workaholic person. He is a workhorse, and he has been working for this session day in and day out for several days. I thank him from my heart of hearts and wish him all good luck in future. This is all about the introduction of our guests, very eminent ones this morning. Jai Bharat, Jai Utkal, Jai Vigyan, Jai Darshan. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Das, for so beautifully and so exhaustively giving the introduction of the guests. I am thankful to you, and all the members will agree that you have done a great deal of research into the activities of our guests, and you have given a very good introduction of these our celebrated guests of today's meeting. I now request Professor B.C.Sahoo, Dr. B.C.Sahoo, the General Secretary of the APA, to present the annual report. Bhaskar Chandra Sahu, please.
करंतु आपणको अनम्यूट करंतु
Unmute. Bhaskar, unmute.
Namaskar. Wishing you a very happy and prosperous new year. Honorable President, Professor Vice President, Professor Prasad, Advisor, Professor Kumar Mohanty, respected chief guest of this occasion, Professor Sachchidananda Mishra, Member Secretary, ICPR, New Delhi, today's General President, Professor Mishra, today's Ratnakarpati Memorial Lecture given by Professor Eminent Mohapatra, Professor and Philosophy and Vice President of JV College, honorable guests of this occasion, Professor Jagannath Das sir, editor of our Journal of AOPA, Professor Chandra Majhi, Treasurer, Dr. Kumar Das, Organizing Secretary, Dr. Lieutenant Lakshman Kumar Patra, delegates, respected teachers, research scholars, students, and other distinguished participants. I welcome you once again to this platform for the 34th annual session of All Odisha Philosophy Association. As a General Secretary, I welcome you once again. Like at the outset, I am extending my heartiest gratitude to the Indian Philosophical Research, Indian Council of Philosophical Research, ICPR, New Delhi, for providing us generous grants for holding this type of seminars and conference for All Odisha Philosophy Association since long. The member secretary, Professor Mishra, is here. I am also thankful and grateful to him also. Thank you, sir. Since long, before announcing this thing, I am announcing a great news, a good news. Not only great news, a good news that our Journal of All Odisha Philosophy Association has been listed in the UGC care list. This is a very great job for us, for the editors, editorial board, and the contributors of the paper writers. I am also extending my thanks to the member secretary of ICPR, chairman of ICPR, and program officer Saroj Kanta Kara, Professor Jhadeshwar Ghosh, Professor Ramchandra Majhi, Professor Patita Baban Das, Associate Professor Himanshu Bhushan Samal, Professor Mohin Mohammad, and Professor Ganesh Prasad Das, Professor S.K. Mohanty, Professor Prafulla Kumar Mohapatra for their humble attempt to include our journal in this care list. As per our schedule, I have to job my duty to read out the proceedings, means the reports for the annual session of 33rd session of All Odisha Philosophy Association. Due to the pandemic situation, we are organizing this in this virtual platform. Of course, it is a very good opportunity. The most of the members are participating in this occasion. Anywhere, anybody who is there, they can also participate here. So the attendance is always more than the physical mode. The 33rd annual session of All Odisha Philosophy Association was organized at Vikram Dev College, Jaipur, Koraput, from 23rd January to 25th January 2021. On the 23rd January, at about 10 AM, the inaugural session was inaugurated by Professor Ripu Sadan Srivastav, former Vice Chancellor of the University of Bihar. Professor Ganesh Prasad Das, the Vice President of our association, has introduced the guests on the dais. Professor Gopal Haldar, the Principal of Vikram Dev College, gave the welcome address. The session was continued by the presidential address of Professor Saroj Mohanty, the Executive President of our association, by highlighting the contributions of philosophers of Odisha. The journal of our association, JOPA, was released by our editor, Professor Ramachandra Majhi. Another book titled Action, Freedom and Responsibility, written by Dr. Subhasini Barik, was also released by our advisor, Professor Prafulla Kumar Mohapatra. He was the guest of honor. The chief guest, Professor R.S. Srivastav, delivered his speech and mentioned the Socratic idea of happiness. Professor Mohapatra also mentioned, and he also talked about action and responsibility of mankind. AOPA has a great tradition to felicitate the senior professors of philosophy for their outstanding contributions to research and teaching in philosophy. That year, we had felicitated Professor B.C.Sahoo, Professor Ranjit Ghosh, formerly Vice Principal, BJB College, Dr. Priyambrada Patnaik, retired editor, Ramadevi Women's College, Professor Ramesh Chandra Das, formerly Professor of Philosophy at Utkal University. Every year, association organizes essay competitions among the undergraduate, postgraduate, MPhil and research scholars. Professor K.P. Mishra Memorial Lecture Essay Competition for MPhil and research scholars. Professor Ganesh Mishra Memorial Essay Competition for postgraduate students, and Professor S.K. Chattopadhyay Memorial Essay Competition for undergraduate students. Students who have been participated and prizes were distributed to the winners of this competition. In the next session, academic session, we have conducted the presidential address under the chairmanship of Professor Saroj Kumar Mohanty, the President of the All Odisha Philosophy Association. Professor Dhaneshwar Sahu has delivered this year's General President's Address on a critique of civilization eval. and Professor Ratnakar Memorial Lecture was delivered by Professor Harish Chandra Sahu, Professor Bhimo Bhoi Chair, Keys University, Bhubaneswar. In the next academic session, 3 sectional presidents, Srimati Nirupama Nayak, Dr. Anup Rai, and Mr. Vijay Kumar Nayak, delivered their sectional presidential address on 3 sections like history of philosophy, logic and metaphysics, ethics and social philosophy, respectively. On 24th January, symposium was conducted on the topic Science and Morality under the chairmanship of our General President, Dr. Ganesh Sahu. The symposists were Dr. Ratikant Panda, Assistant Professor, IIT Mumbai, Dr. Pragya Prakashin Das Kanungo, Lecturer in Philosophy, Gop College, Gop, Dr. Subhankari Pati, Assistant Professor, GM University, Sambalpur, Dr. Prasanta Kumar Panigrahi, Lecturer, Jatani College, Jatni, Dr. Kavita Das, Assistant Professor, Utkal University, had presented their symposia papers. On the next session, papers were presented in the section Logic and Metaphysics and Ethics and Social Philosophy. More than 30 papers were presented on these 2 sessions. On 25th January, another symposia on the topic Indian Theories of Evolution was conducted under the chairmanship of Professor Ganesh Prasad Das, the Vice President of our association. Dr. Narmada Kumar Parira, Assistant Professor, Sarawala Women's College, Cuttack, Dr. Nandita Chotrai, PN, Lecturer, PN College, Khurda, Srimati Mamina Sahu, Lecturer in SA Mahavidyalaya, Balipatna, Mr. Jagannath Prasad Mohanty, Lecturer, UN Autonomous College, Odaspur, has delivered their symposium papers. After that, papers were also presented on the section History of Philosophy section. More than 15 papers were presented on this session. On 25th January at 5 p.m., the valedictory function was organized. We fortunately got our guest professors Saroj Deshpande, formerly Professor of University of Pune, Professor Ganesh Prasad Das, Professor Prafula Kumar Mohapatra, Professor Saroj Kumar Mohanty, and had delivered their valedictory talks on this occasion. Lastly, the organizing secretary, Dr. Lakshman Kumar Patra, has gave the vote of thanks. Once the meeting was ended with vote of thanks, once again I welcome you all. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Jagannath.
Thank you, Bhaskar, for your nice presentation of the report. I now request Professor Ramachandra Majhi, the celebrated chief editor of AOPA, the journal which has received recognition. He is now in the UGC care and list, and we are very happy for this achievement. And it is all due to Professor Ramachandra Majhi's effort. I now request him to please release the journal of AOPA, the Professor Majhi, please. And I request Lakshman to display the journal along with this.
Namaskar to all my seniors, and
Please make
good
your
wishes to
video
my
also.
juniors.
You have your video should be seen. We want
Yeah,
to
yeah,
see.
yeah, I will do that. Yes, sir. Let me say a few words before releasing this journal. It has been a really difficult task for all of us to select the papers to be published by the published in the journal. We did not see who has written the paper. We have seen what has been written. On basis of that, we have tried our best, and some were good papers. We, in the sense that they were promising papers, we could not select because they were very. There were insights, but they were not full-fledged papers. They were very small, so we request those small paper writers to improve those papers and submit subsequently in next issue. We may consider it. So now I also thank the advisory board, the contributors, the editorial team, and people who have helped this journal to get this achievement. This is it is just beginning. We wanted it to be wanted it to get national recognition, so it has started. It has got the notice, but to keep that status, we have to work hard, and all credit goes to the whole team of editorial, advisory board, the contributors, and the well-wishers of the journal. Now I request our Dr. Patra to present the journal.
Lakshman, please display.
Yeah.
It is now on the screen. It is on the screen now.
Yeah.
It is there in the screen.
Pin your screen so that everybody can see it.
It is now in the screen.
Okay. Now you can project the advisory board page, please. Lakshman, please present the advisory board. It's not in here.
Lakshman, are you listening? Hello, Lakshman.
Sir, I'm sharing. Yes, sir, I'm sharing. Wait.
Please share.
BC रथ टे डिस्टर्ब करछन बारंबार से पळे आछन टे म्यूट कर देले भलो होंदा
रथ बेना टे म्यूट कर दियंतु कर देले
ओके
now it's coming. Okay,
please.
Advisory board.
Yeah.
So clapping and cheers.
Yeah, and then the next page, please. Next place. Yeah, hold it. So every year we express our condolence to all our colleagues who used to work with us and they are no more with us. So our sincere condolence to our colleagues, Professor B.C.Sahoo, Mr. Mishra, Mr. Sunil Malik, Mr. Sachchidananda Das, Mr. Saroj Chandra Ratha, and Mr. Jinathan Kumar Naik. Next page, please. Yeah, here, shall I read the papers and the writer?
No,
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 just-
okay.
Okay, and then can you show Lakwana the inner cover?
Inner cover, sir.
Do you have the inner cover?
Okay, sir. I have to upload.
Then forget it.
Front page.
Okay, sir.
Please display the front page again.
Display the front page again.
front page out दिखाई दे.
Actually, I lost the contact because of the BSNL. There is some disruption. Now again, Geo has come to our. So please display the front page. Last one. Front page of the journal.
Sir, Saroj.
BSNL network sir तो अच्छे से वर्तन.
Front page दाखल
पढ़े वाला तमर तो खाली मुंह देखाओ जी या जर्नल कहीं.
आसियो सर. नहीं ताको लोड कला टाइम लग नहीं ना कि.
ଆସିଥିଲା ତ ଟିକେ
ठीक अच्छे आम देखीचे let us proceed because we have many things to do. We now proceed to the next item.
Disla sir, disla.
Sir, it is coming.
Thank you. Lakshman.
Sir.
You are genius.
We can clapping and clear.
Lakshman is a genius, and because of him, during these 2 years, we have been successful in organizing the conference online. And on behalf of all of you, I express our appreciation to Dr. Lakshman Patra. Actually, he is doing very good work.
Excellent work.
This the front page of the journal, but I could not. So, thank you, Lakshman. Now we proceed to I thank Professor Majhi for inaugurating releasing the journal of AOPA. Now we have some books written by our celebrated members, and we would be releasing these books. We have received 2 books, P.F. Strawson's Philosophy of Language by Dr. Felicitated, and another book. We are very important because that is in Odia. Samaja, Sahitya or Darsana by Professor Ganesh Prasad Das. These 2 books, I have the privilege of inaugurating, releasing these 2 books. The first book is P.F. Strawson's Philosophy of Language, and I will request Lakshman to display the book. This is the cover page. If it is a mirror image, then Lakshman can help in. Lakshman,
Sir.
The problem with me is that this will be in mirror image. So please do it for yourself. You please display the book, P.F. Strawson's Philosophy of Language by Dr. Mishra, a person who has been working on Strawson's philosophy for his lifetime, and this is a lifetime achievement. We congratulate Professor Mishra for bringing out this book. And Lakshman, please display the cover page of that book, P.F. Strawson's Philosophy of Language. I have the cover page, but the problem is that it will be displayed in the, or is it showing the mirror image, or it is?
Now it's coming. Yeah.
Anyway, this is the, and we have
front page টা দেখাও, এটা back page. front page দেখাও.
Roshan ka photo দেখাଉଛି, ହଁ ସେ ତ ଠିକ ଅଛି, and
এটা
we
back page.
have Vicar able to please
ତା front page টা দেখাও.
Sir.
Professor B.C. Rao to say a few words. On the book, what we all know, but we want to listen from your voice.
Hello. My best wishes to you all for the new year and for the conference. I am really fortunate that after such a long time, the book is getting published. Really, it is a work in 80s. Hence, the bibliography may not be up to date. It is published now for greater participation of scholars. Greater participation of scholars who are interested in philosophy of language. Well, to come to the contents of the book, it is the introduction consists of the turn to philosophy of language. Why? What for? We are coming to philosophy of language. Well, language of mathematics, language of ethics, language of logic. There are several studies available. So, a study on language was needed because the philosophy in those days was a handmaiden to theology. So the explanation offered was teleological or theological. But in contrast, there was science, development in science, where causal explanations were offered. Naturally, there was a tension between the causal relations, causal explanation, and theological or teleological explanation. Now, which one should be accepted? What is the proper language? What should be the proper language of philosophy? That was bothering the 20th century philosophers. And as a first step towards that, linguistic analysis was offered as a method. And what they did, they picked up certain concepts, troublesome concepts, and they were diagnosed as perplexing the mind, bewitching the mind. That's why they picked up certain concepts and words or expressions for treatment. But that was not the proper way. What is the background? Whose use? If you say it is use of words, not the words in isolation or while they are idling, but when they are in use, their use should find meaning. But whose use it is? Is it the use of a professional? Is it the use of a common man? Whose use it is? That's why we had to bring in a background theory of language by appeal to which problems could be sorted out. Of course, Wittgenstein started it, but Later on, it was Strawson who did the major work in philosophy of language. I have done this under supervision of Dr. G.C. Nayak. Long back, it was presented as my PhD thesis. But here, the book is a slight revision of my thesis. And I hope this book will cater to the needs of students as well as scholars who are active in the field of language. Thank you all.
विभू सर म्यूट करंतु।
I am getting disconnected again and again because of the internet. I have two internet, one BSL and fiber and Geo connection, but both are also failing on this occasion. Okay, so thank you, sir, for your presentation, for your words of wisdom on this occasion. I now request Professor Ganesh Prasad Das. Please, again, last one to help us. Please display the book, Samaja, Sahitya, O Darshana, the book by Professor Ganesh Prasad Das. This is a very good book, as you can see in the philosopher, and below there is one I fail to understand the second image. Philosopher is something very interesting. Professor Das is Professor Das to speak on this.
देखो सर बॉयटा देखो दो.
My congratulations, and I request Professor Das to say a few words about the book. We are very happy that this is a book in Odia we have going to release.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Ganesh Prasad Das.
It has been my aim from my Bani Bihar days to popularize philosophy. During all these years, I wrote several articles in newspapers and magazines on philosophy, philosophical issues involved in the socio-economic platform of the state and the country at large. They have been received very well by the readers, but I was so lazy that I could not compile all these into a book form for the use by the general public. Many persons, many well-wishers have given me inspiration to do the same, but I have somehow not been able to, and I have avoided all the time the task of publication, because I know that is very difficult, and I am facing much trouble in getting it in the black and white. Many errors remain in spite of repeated corrections. Great labor goes into it to see the publication of a book. I wanted to get it published in 3 titles, but then the publisher advised me to get it under 1 title in 3 sections, which has been done. I remember Madam Chandra Patnaik to have said once that G.P. Das does not write for others, he writes for himself. Because I have not been attentive enough to get them published in book form. Her remark was caustic, but then that is true. So I am not telling anything about the contents of the book. Many of my contemporaries and my teachers have read some of the essays published herein. I remember another episode. Dr. B.N. Patnaik of Commerce one day came to Professor Mohapatra's room while I was there. He told that Ganesh has published a very good article in Samaj today. And Professor replied, it is poison. That means there are some caustic review of some of the matters.
Did I say?
Professor's remark came in that form. It is philosophical treatment of anything is striking the hard truth, and they become caustic to so many persons. Still then,
That was a compliment for you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So with these compliments in the background, the book is going to see the light of the day. Thank you very much for getting released on this platform. I'm very happy that things are going in the right way. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Professor Ganesh Prasad Das. I also thank Chandra and Prof. for instigating you, inciting you to come to bring out your work for more books. Thanks to these persons. Chandra is no more, but we remember her. She was a source of inspiration to many persons. And now we have some more books. Professor Patitababan Das, who has been recently joined as a professor in Jagannath University. I congratulate him, and he has brought out two books during this year. One book on philosophy of language. This is the second book Professor Mishra has written on philosophy of language, and this Patitabab's book also is on philosophy of language. The other book is on ethics and public health. That is a topic which is very dear to his heart, and he has been working on this area, and these two books have been published. I request Patitababan Das to please display the cover pages of these two books. And I also request all our members to have copies of these books. Patitababan is quite generous, and he will definitely help us. Please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Namaskar. But I don't know. I'm unable to present it. Lakshman bhai, can you help me? Means my presentation button is not working.
Oh, okay. I'm allowed to share.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Now you are able.
Now you are
able to.
Yeah.
Okay, you just tama muha pakhare rakhi diya se dita bhi presenting. Yes.
Now it's coming. Let me see. It's coming now. Because it's there in my laptop.
No.
It comes the hard copy. The hard copies are not there with me. It's there in my department.
We are interested in the soft copy. Please display.
Yeah, but it's
for the present.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
one minute, sir.
No, say done.
How?
It's coming, sir. It's coming. So how to show my desktop? It's there on my desktop.
You share the presentation. If you go to presentation and display the images.
A window, yeah. This one.
ପତାପାଲି ପ୍ରଥମେ ଆଗେ ଓପନ କର, ଓପନ କରି ତାକୁ
Yeah, this one I think it is coming, right?
Yes.
Yes. Aरे वाह, ଆସିଲା.
Again, sir.
Philosophy of language.
Yeah.
This
This is
light.
language and reality.
Light, language and reality.
This is as per CBCS model of syllabus, which is there for our UG courses.
Okay.
And it is on John Hasper's. So I think I have tried my hand to make John Hasper's a little understanding. So that's what the book is all about. This is what is the, and another is let me show you. This is the back page. And another, this is a book.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a few words about this book, and we have seen them. And now it is
This is the books are written by me and one of my students, MPhil students. This is on ethics and public health issues from India. I'm working on this, and we are hoping that we will have more books on this. I also invite some other people who can collaborate with us, because this is an emerging area in philosophy, and I'm sure that this book is going to help us. And this is available in all the virtual platform like Amazon and Facebook and other platforms. But that book is available in only stores. This philosophy of language is available in only stores. But ethics and public health is available in all the virtual platforms we can have.
Thank you.
Who has published these books? Who is the publisher?
This ethics and public health is published by Norton Press, Chennai. Norton Press, Chennai.
And the other one?
Philosophy of language is published by Kalyani.
Okay.
New Delhi. Okay.
My hearty congratulations to Prof.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Patitavan.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Prasad from all of us.
Thank you.
Now, double achievement, 2 books, and but he has also associated his student Saraswati Vandana with the book. Though I know he has been the main person behind this, and that is the topic on which he has been working for a long time. So I congratulate him on behalf of all the members and guests in this place. Thank you, Prasad.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We now come to the main item, main subject, addressed by the chief guest, Professor Sachchidananda Mishra. Professor Sachchidananda Mishra was in Odisha before he went to Banaras. So we still consider him to be an Odia, and he was again in Puri, Jagannath Dham, and our association with him has been very long. I now request Professor Sachchidananda Mishra to deliver his talk, to address the conference. Professor Sachchidananda Mishra.
Namo Namaha. Respected President, the scholars, namely Professor Saroj Kumar Mohanty, Professor B.K. Das, Professor G.P. Das, Professor Jagannath Prasad Das, Professor Godavarish Mishra, and some others who are here. I first would like to congratulate all of the participants who are engaged, who have joined this all Orissa Philosophical Association conference in a virtual mode. I would also like to congratulate all those persons, namely Professor Patitpavan Das, Professor G.P. Das, and some others who have published their books, and the books which are now inaugurated. So this is very good idea to give these books and to make all of us aware of the publication of these books. And this is also very wonderful that the scholars like Professor G.P. Das have published books in Oriya language, and it makes our languages very much rich and very much lively, and also it is very fruitful in making philosophy popular. And what is the purpose of writing a book if only a few persons read that? Here, writing a book in Odia, Professor Ganesh Prasad Das has done a very wonderful job. And I think the philosophy books should be written more in these languages, Hindi, Oriya, Bangla, etc. Because these make a very good impression on the minds of students. They get very good books in their mother tongue, and therefore they learn how to think in a proper way, how to do philosophy in a very good way. And here, the contribution of these scholars are very much helpful, useful, and noteworthy. This conference is being organized at a time when we all are fighting with a pandemic. But these activities should not stop. These activities should go on. There was a movie of Raj Kapoor, Mera Naam Joker. And in that movie, it is said the show must go on. And actually, we are living a life where we are fighting so many things, day to day, every day, and then life never stops. Life goes on, and actually the show must go on. So this time also, we are organizing this conference, and I am very much hopeful that the next time we will be organizing this conference not in virtual mode, but in a physical mode. Because those workshops, those conferences, those seminars which are organized in physical mode, those are so much successful. And these virtual conferences are only for the purpose of not stopping ourselves, doing something which has to go on. Therefore, these conferences are also very much useful. But in future, we will be having such conferences in near future in physical mode, where we will meet, we will discuss. And actually, when we meet and when we discuss, many new ideas come to our minds. Sometimes we have some ideas while teaching. Many a times it happens that when we study ourselves, we don't grasp the idea, we don't have that idea. But when we are teaching a student, when we are having a discussion with another scholar, then we have a different kind of insight. We have something new, something comes to our minds. Therefore, it is said in our tradition, Vade Vade Jayate Tattvamodha. So when we have a Vada, and these seminars are actually a kind of Vada in our this time, because we meet having our own ideas, but at the same time, we are very much prepared to welcome the objections, our criticism, and suggestions. All are welcomed, and in that way, when we participate in a seminar, when we participate in a conference, we refine ourselves, we refine our own ideas, and in that way, these seminars, these conferences are very much useful for promoting the topic on which these seminars, conferences are organized. And philosophy is actually known as mother of all the knowledge. Philosophy is very much related to science, very much related to political science, very much related to social sciences. And there are so many things which appear in first sight that those are not related to philosophy, but philosophy is very much related to those of us, those branches of knowledge also. Therefore, in every branch, when someone is doing an original work, the work is known as PhD, Doctor of Philosophy. So we all are doing philosophy. There is a book by Stephen Hawking, The Grand Design. And when you study, when you go through that book, you notice that actually he is being a scientist, being a physicist. He is also doing something philosophy. So philosophy is everywhere, and therefore the philosophers have very important role. And when we popularize philosophy, we make a very wonderful job, because we change the society. And this is the purpose of education, to change the society in a right way. Because whenever every human being, whether a person is an honest man, whether he is a corrupt man, every human being tries to change the society. And those persons who try to change the society in a right way are actually noteworthy. And when a philosopher tries to popularize philosophy, tries to change the minds of others, because when we do philosophy, we actually learn how to think in a proper way, how to question. Actually, this is also an art to raise good questions. And the philosophers not only try to find out the answers to those questions, but also they teach us how to raise questions and how to raise good questions. The question, many times it happens that we believe it happens, it goes on in the same way. But philosophers dare to question why this belief is there, why this is moral, why this is ethical. So these questions, the questions related to ethics, questions related to morality, and questions related to epistemology, related to metaphysics, all these questions are actually changing the society, how society will look at those questions. Because without philosophers, the society would have been in the same way as it had been 10,000 years ago or more than that. Actually, our thoughts are changing not only ourselves, but also the society, the world as a whole. Therefore, these philosophers and as a branch of philosophy, branch of knowledge, philosophy must be studied, must be taught, and the students should come to study. And we have seen so many students, so many um, uh, scholars coming from different branches of knowledge. I have seen some persons who completed BTech, did job somewhere for some time, and after being dissatisfied with their work, they came to study philosophy. And when they study philosophy, they get very much satisfied. Because philosophy is making us aware of ourselves and also making us aware of the society as a whole. And it gives wisdom. And that is very much required. So I welcome all the participants who are joining us and who will join this conference. And the paper presentations will be done by them. I congratulate, I welcome, and I wish that such type of seminars, workshops, conferences should be organized in physical mode also in near future. Let us hope so, and then we can progress more fast. Thank you very much. I complete my talk here. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with all of you.
Nice of you.
Thank you, Professor Mishra, for your words of wisdom. Actually, this is the philosophy as a form of dialogue. It's not only present here, but in all cultures. And Plato's dialogue, that is the prime case of doing philosophy, where Bade Bade na Jayate is also seen in the tradition. The father of philosophy, Socrates, was doing the same thing. Plato has also inherited that thing from Socrates, and here also in our Upanishads, we also come across this kind of philosophizing. Thank you, Professor Mishra. You will all agree that Professor Mishra is very much with us, and he will continue to inspire us in near future, in all our meetings. Now I request Professor Sri Jagannath Das, Srijukta Jagannath Das, to please address this conference. He is our guest of honor, and he is no introduction. He is a person who is very much in our heart. Even though physically it has not been possible to meet him, but we do feel his presence all the time. Thank you.
Sir, ଆପଣଙ୍କର ରିଜାଉଟ୍ ହଉଛି?
हेलो
कौन सर?
कहली
आज्ञा सर.
I must thank you for requesting me to say something. What to do due to constraint of my health, I cannot speak. I will only read out a small portion of my own book. And on Shankaracharya. What is the meaning of the self? Self means Atma. Actually, Atma, the word Atma, although in English it is translated as self, as there is no other alternative, it means Pratyagatma, that which always moves back. As far as your intellect tries to reach it, it moves back. Up. So it is Pratyagatma. Acharya Shankara says, आपनोते है, अत्ते है, अतते है तो परात्मा, सर्वज्ञ. Because it receives, it digests, it reaches at the object, it is beyond the object, it is Sarvagya. Sarvagya means not all knowing. Sarvagya means it is entirely a piece of knowledge. It is an epistemic entity. This is Aitariya Upanishad Bhashya. In Aitariya Upanishad Bhashya 1:1:1, this is what he says. He also says that Aitariya Upanishad Bhashya Atmaeti Vyapti Karmanoha Atma Taitariya. In Kathopanishad Bhashya, quoting from Linga Purana, he says, Jatapnoti Jadap Datte Jachat Vishyanya Jachat Santato Bhava Susna Datmet Giyate. It is from Linga Purana 1:1796. It is Atma Sabda Betvat Itmanat. Dui Ek Ek, Dui Kathopanishad, Dui Ek Ek. This is the Smriti. Atma Sabda Bhatvati. Atma Sabda, he means in two ways. One is as it is commonly known, and another is as it is derived from grammar. In these two ways, it is the same thing. That is Pratyagatma. This is Atma is a आत्मा आत्मा शब्द कही हम जो बात निवर्तन्ते ताको भाषा रे कही हेबनी that is beyond the linguistic expression. So language does not work to describe what is Atman. This is Taittiriya Upanishad. Dui chari ek hai. Atmani Darsana Dhanuvate Chandak. In Chandogya Upanishad, it says Atma cannot be seen. Perception does not work to reveal Atman. So it is only a linguistic expression which expresses a logical entity that has to be assumed, otherwise language will not work. I think I should conclude, and I thank you, the association and its organizers, for having given me this opportunity to talk. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
ସାର୍ ବହୁତ ବହୁତ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଯେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ସନ୍ନିଧି ଆମେ ଲାଭ କଲୁ ଅନଲାଇନରେ ହଉ ପଛେ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ସନ୍ନିଧି ଲାଭ କରିପାରିଲୁ ସେତିକି ଆମ ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ନିଜକୁ ଭାଗ୍ୟବାନ ମନେ କରୁଛୁ ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ କନଫରେନ୍ସକୁ ଯାଉ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଯାଉ ଆମେ ଆଗରୁ ଯେତେ ସବୁ ଆମର ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଭର୍ଚୁଆଲ ମୋଡ ହେଲା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଯୋଉଠି ହଉଛି ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ଦାସ ନିଶ୍ଚୟ ଯିବେ ଏବଂ ସିଏ ଆମର ଗାଇଡ ହେଇକି ଆସିବେ ଏବଂ ଆମକୁ ସବୁ ଗାଇଡିଂ us and we are expect that kind of guidance for the years to come. Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Jagannath sir goes as a pilot person.
Hello? Facebook and you are very
pilot person.
So we see you and we are very elated when we see you in Facebook. So you are very fresh in Facebook and we pray God Jagannath to give you to bless you so that we continue to guide us in future in the year to come.
Thank you very much.
Now I request Professor P.K. Mohapatra, our friend, philosopher and advisor. The advisor, he is also our friend and he philosopher. He is my guide, but he has been more of an advisor to all of us, not only of this conference, but for all our activities. We seek his guidance. So, Professor Mohapatra, a friend, philosopher, and advisor, I request him to speak a few words. Sir, Professor Mohapatra, sir.
Mr. President.
Source of inspiration to all of us.
Thank you, thank you. And Mr. President, Vice President, our guest, Chief Guest, Mr. Mishra, especially the guest of honor, Sri Jagannath Das, and all the participants, ladies and gentlemen. In the agenda, it is written that I have to tell you some blissful words. Well, that is very thinking on the part of the person I know who has done this, Ganesh Prasad. I am really full of bliss because here we have been made aware, and it is very reassuring that philosophy is important, that philosophy matters in all walks of life. The member secretary, Mr. Mishra, has made this very clear in his enlightening speech, that philosophy matters and that it matters to many people is evidenced by many scientists, great scientists. Einstein, in his later years, emphasized this particular fact that we have to look for Western intellectualism to find the answers to all or almost all the questions of science. Fritjof Capra, a great physicist, looked upon Indian intellectualism to provide a rational foundation for physics. That philosophy matters is also evident from our guest of honor, Sri Jagannath Das. He was first class first in philosophy in 1961, worked as a teacher for some time in the university, but to our bliss, he got this. He was selected as a probation, the first probation officer from Odisha in the State Bank of India. But this gentleman, I was told by Professor Mishra several times that this gentleman, despite being appointed as a probation officer in the State Bank of India, did not want to join the bank. He wanted to continue teaching in the university. Professor Mishra advised him that for a better future, he should join the bank, and he was forced to join the bank. But his mind was always with philosophy, and whenever there is a conference of the Odisha Philosophy Association, he is always there. And today also, despite his failing health, he came and he struggled to say something which glorifies philosophy. So I'm really delighted that this conference has been a reassuring for all of us to realize the importance of philosophy. I'm sure our young scholars who have been writing books in philosophy, in matters pertaining to the syllabus as well as in the general area, they know how philosophy is important. So as an advisor, I feel very happy. I am thankful to all of you that you call me an advisor and you retain me as an advisor of this association. I had the privilege of nurturing this association for about 2 decades, but I am happy that this association is going on well, doing well, and it will go on doing well in future. On my behalf, on behalf of the members and the president of this association, I express my grateful thanks to the ICPR, and this I convey through the member secretary. By the way, we have been having member secretaries of the ICPR on several occasions as the chief guest on this platform. So we are very happy that philosophy is doing well. All Odisha Philosophy Association is doing well, and it will go on doing well. I express my best of wishes to all the participants, and the next 2 days of deliberations will be very successful. Thank you very much.
Grateful to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you for thanking our chief guest and chief guest and guest of honor. So you have done my work.
And the organizer.
And I am really thankful to you for doing this. And now we have this very important function. We are going to felicitate some professors, those who have retired. They have contributed their best to the cause of philosophy and the teaching of philosophy. So we have, the list is, we have felicitated 5 persons this year. I request the Professor Mohapatra to please coordinate this work. He will display the, I will announce, we will first felicitate Dr. Padmaj, a very dear person to all of us. Padmaj has been very active both in philosophy and literature, and Dr. Pal is also with us today. I request Dr. Kalyani Sarangi to read out the felicitation we are giving to Padmaj Pal, and the Lakshman to please display the felicitation. Kalyani Sarangi.
Hello, sir.
Lakshman, display
Hello.
Proceed.
Hello. Am I audible to
Audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Some disturbance is there. मोबाइल लैपटॉप भी नहीं खोला छो देखो
उपस्थित समस्त गुरुजन को मोर विनम्र प्रणाम एवं मोर श्रद्धेय छात्र छात्री डॉक्टर पद्मज पाल सारंकर सम्मान मानपत्र पाठ करने को सुजोग मिलिथिबारु मु आपण मानक पाखरे कृतज्ञता ज्ञापन करुछि। वर्तमान मु मानपत्रटी पाठ करने को जाऊँगी। निखिल उत्कल दर्शन परिषद ऑल ओडिशा फिलोसफी एसोसिएशन 34तम वार्षिक अधिवेशन 23 रु 25 जनवरी 2022 मानपत्र अध्यापक डॉक्टर पद्मजपाल माननीयेषु दर्शन शास्त्र अध्यापना तथा ओडिया साहित्य भंडार को भव्य अवदान पाई आपण गौरवमंडित हेबा सहित आंभ मानंको गर्वित करिसंती। जगतसिंहपुर माटी रे 1946 मसीह रे आपण जन्म ग्रहण करी विद्यालय शिक्षा सेठारे समाप्त करी 1968 मसीहारे रेभेन्सा महाविद्यालय कटकरू दर्शन शास्त्र रे स्नातक उपाधि 1970 मसीहारे उत्कल विश्वविद्यालय स्नातकोत्तर उपाधि 1993 मसीहा पंडिचेरी महाविद्यालय विशिष्टाचार्य एमफिल और 2002 मसीहारे उत्कल विश्वविद्यालय विद्या पारिधि पीएचडी उपाधि लाभ करिसेंती। पटामुंडाई महाविद्यालय खोर्धा स्थित प्राणनाथ महाविद्यालय और जगतसिंहपुर स्थित स्वामी विवेकानंद महाविद्यालय रे अध्यापना करी रणपुर महाविद्यालय अध्यक्ष पदरे अधिष्ठित थाई 2006 मसीहारे सेवानिवृत्त हेले। आपणकर विद्या बारिधि निबंध एस्थेटिक एक्सपीरियंस इन ओडिया पोएट्री 1880 to 1947 दर्शन शास्त्र गवेषणा रे एक नूतन दिग उन्मोचन करिछि। जणे सफल और छात्र वत्सल शिक्षक हेबा सहित आपण जणे लब्ध प्रतिष्ठ गाल्पिक एवं औपन्यासिक। ए जावत आपण 11 गोटी गल्प पुस्तक एवं 19 गोटी उपन्यास रचना करी 1991 मसीहारे दुर्ग पतनर बेल उपन्यास रचना पाई ओडिशा साहित्य एकाडेमी पुरस्कार समेत अन्य 24 गोटी पुरस्कार और सम्मान रे विभूषित होइछन्ति। निखिल उत्कल दर्शन परिषदर सदस्य भावरे एहार वार्षिक अधिवेशन मानंकरे योगदान करी गवेषणात्मक प्रबंध उपस्थापन करने सहित आलोचना रे सक्रिय अंशग्रहण करिछन्ति। आपण किछि दिन प्रांतीय सचिव भावे मध्य दायित्व निर्वाह करिछन्ति। दर्शन जगत को आपणक जीवनव्यापी अवदान रे प्रीत होई ए अवसर रे ओडिशा दर्शन परिवार आपणक संवर्धित करने सहित आपणकर दीर्घ निरामय तथा कर्ममय जीवन कामना करुछि। आंतरिक सम्मान सह आपणकर गुणमुग्ध निखिल उत्कल दर्शन परिषद सदस्य वृंद। एही मानपत्रटी निखिल उत्कल दर्शन परिषदर सभापति प्रोफेसर सरोज कुमार मोहांती महोदयଙ୍କ द्वारा मध्य स्वाक्षरित होई अछि। धन्यवाद। आपण समस्त को मोर विनम्र प्रणाम। नमस्कार।
Thank you, Kalyani, for reading out the felicitations so clearly and visibly, and I thank Professor Das, Ganesh Prasad Das, who is the brain behind all this, and he has, you can see his writing in this. I thank him for carrying such a. Now, I can now request Aurobindo Das, felicitation to Sri Aurobindo Das, Dr. Munmai Prof, to please read it out. Then we will go to the reply afterwards, but first let us. Munmai, please read out.
Sir, again. Yes. More Samasthanku Pranam. I'm very much thankful that I have been given the privilege to read out the felicitations paper. So I'll start now. Sri Aurobindo Das, Nikhila Utkala Darshana Parishada, All Odisha Philosophy Association, 34तम वार्षिक अधिवेशन 23-25 जनवरी 2020 मानपत्र। अध्यापक श्री अरविंद दास माननीयसु दर्शन शास्त्र अध्यापन क्षेत्र रे आपण जने दत्तचित अध्यापक। दर्शन शास्त्र रे सामंत चंद्रशेखर महाविद्यालय पुरी 1962 मसीह रे स्नातक और उत्कल विश्वविद्यालय भुवनेश्वर 1964 मसीह स्नातकोत्तर शिक्षा समाप्त करी ओडिशा लोकसेवा आयोग द्वारा तर्क और दर्शनर जड़े अध्यापक भावे आपण मनोनीत होई सरकारी महाविद्यालय फुलबाणी रे अवस्थापित हेले। परे परे सरकारी महाविद्यालय केन्दुझर गंगाधर मेहर महाविद्यालय संबलपुर, राजेंद्र महाविद्यालय बलांगीर और शेषरे बक्सी जगबंधु महाविद्यालय भुवनेश्वर रे अध्यापना करी 2001 मसीह अवसर ग्रहण कले। सेवा निवृत्ति काल रे आपण निज जन नियोजित करबा आनंदर कथा। जने कृतविद्य शिक्षक भाव आपणक सुनाम अछि। छात्र छात्री मानकु पढ़ाइबा सह तांको भविष्यत गठन प्रति आपण विशेष ध्यान देइथांत। आपणक उपरे न्यस्त अनुष्ठानर शासन तांत्रिक दायित्व मान सुचारू रूपे संपादन करी समस्तंकर प्रीतिभाजन होइछंती। निखिलोत्कल दर्शन परिषदर सदस्य थाई तार वार्षिक अधिवेशन मानंकरे आपण सक्रिय योगदान करी चर्चा आलोचना रे भाग नेइछंती। दर्शन जगत को आपणक जीवन व्यापी अवदान रे प्रीत होई ए अवसर रे ओडिशा दर्शन परिवार आपणक संवर्धित करिबा सहित आपणकर दीर्घ निरामय तथा कर्ममय जीवन कामना करूची। आंतरिक सम्मान सह आपणक गुणमुग्ध निखिल उत्कल दर्शन परिषद सदस्य वृंद नमस्कार।
Thank you, Kalyani. Sorry, thank you, Mumbai, for reading out this felicitations. Now, I request it is Nivedita Mohanty to please read out the felicitation to Sri Arthotrana Tripathi. Nivedita, please.
उपस्थित समस्त गुरुजन मानकु मोर सम्मान छात्र छात्री मानकु मोर श्रद्धा अछि। ए मानपत्र पढ़िबार सुजोग मते दिया जाइथिबारु निखिल उत्कल दर्शन परिषद रो समस्त सभ्यंकु मु मोर आंतरिक शुभेच्छा जनाउछि। वर्तमान मु ए मानपत्रटी अध्यापक श्री आर्तोत्राण त्रिपाठी उद्देश्य रे पढ़िया पई जाउछि। निखिल उत्कल दर्शन परिषद ऑल ओडिशा फिलोसफी एसोसिएशन 34तम वार्षिक अधिवेशन 23 रु 25 जनवरी 2022। अध्यापक श्री आर्तोत्राण त्रिपाठी माननीय केन्द्रापड़ा जिला अंतर्गत अंतेई पाटकुरा 1948 मसीह भूमिष्ठ होई आपण कोलार जयपुरस्थ जगन्नाथ उच्च इंग्राजी विद्यालय माध्यमिक शिक्षा समाप्त करी 1969 मसीह रेभेन्सा महाविद्यालय कटक दर्शन शास्त्र सम्मान रे प्राप्त होइथिले। 1972 मसीह ओडिशा शिक्षा सेवा रे आपण योगदान करी विक्रमदेव महाराजा पूर्णचंद्र महाविद्यालय रेभेन्सा महाविद्यालय कटक गंगाधर मेहर महाविद्यालय संबलपुर बक्सी जगबंधु विद्यालय महाविद्यालय भुवनेश्वर और परिशेष सामंत चंद्रशेखर महाविद्यालय पुरी ठारे अध्यापना करी 2006 मसीह अवसर ग्रहण कले। सरल सरस अध्यापना और निरलस साधना द्वारा आपण सुनाम अर्जन कर गवेषणा क्षेत्र में आपणकर अवदान मध्य उल्लेखनीय। प्रांतीय एवं सर्वभारतीय संस्थान और समावेश योगदान करी दर्शन शास्त्र विविध विषय को नहीं गवेषणात्मक प्रबंध आजीवन सदस्य थाई संपान रे भाग नहीं योगदान करिसेंती। आपणक द्वारा गवेषणा प्रस्तुत एक पुस्तक दि चार्वाक थ्योरी ऑफ नॉलेज निकट अतीत रे प्रकाशित होछि। यह दर्शन साहित्यर श्रीवृद्धि साधन करिबो बोली कामना करूछु। दर्शन जगत को आपणकर जीवन व्यापी अवदान रे प्रीत होई ए अवसर रे ओडिशा दर्शन परिवार आपन को दर्शन परिवार आपनको संवर्धित करने सहित आपणकर दीर्घ निरामय तथा कर्ममय जीवन कामना करुछि। आंतरिक सम्मान सह आपणकर गुणमुग्ध निखिल उत्कल दर्शन परिषद सदस्य वृंद। स्वाक्षर सरोज कुमार महांती।
Thank you, Nivedita, for reading out this. You will again be helping us to read out another felicitation. So now I request Munmai Rath again to please come and read felicitation to Sri Nakula Ratha. Munmai, to read out the felicitation to Sri Nakula Ratha.
मृण्मयी अनम्यूट करो, मृण्मयी अनम्यूट करो।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सर। निखिल उत्कल दर्शन परिषद ऑल ओडिशा फिलोसफी एसोसिएशन 34तम वार्षिक अधिवेशन 23 ରୁ 25 ଜାନୁଆରୀ 2020 मानपत्र अवदान। अध्यापक श्री नकुल रथ सम्माननीयसु आपण 1965 रे सामंत चंद्रशेखर महाविद्यालय दर्शन शास्त्र रे स्नातक सम्मान एवं 1967 रे उत्कल विश्वविद्यालय स्नातकोत्तर परीक्षा रे उत्तीर्ण हुई भवानी पाटना महाविद्यालय रे अध्यापना आरंभ करथिले ओ तापरे नयागढ़ महाविद्यालय रे अध्यापक भावे जोग देइथिले। 1982 रे केंद्रीय लोक सेवा आयोग द्वारा जातीय सेवा संस्थार सहायक कार्यक्रम उपदेष्टा रूपे मनोनीत हुई भुवनेश्वरस्थ जातीय सेवा संस्थार आंचलिक केन्द्र ठारे प्राय 5 वर्ष कार्य करिथिले। सेबेठारु आम राज्य रे जातीय सेवा संस्था कार्यकलाप सह आपणक नाम जोड़ी होई जाइथिला। सेठारे दक्षतार सह कार्य संपन्न करी आपण नयागढ़ महाविद्यालय रु फेरी आसीथिले। परे परे रणपुर महाविद्यालय रणपुर, नयागढ़ प्रजामंडल महाविद्यालय नयागढ़, वृंदावन सुबुद्धि महाविद्यालय दशपल्ला, रमामणि महाविद्यालय कंटाबाड़ एवं परिशेष पठाणी सामंत महाविद्यालय खंडपड़ार अध्यक्ष दायित्व निर्वाह करी चाकरी अवसर ग्रहण करथिले। नयागढ़ महाविद्यालय रे अध्यापक रूपे जोग देवा सह आपण एहार जातीय सेवा संस्था कार्यक्रम अधिकारी रूपे दायित्व ग्रहण करथिले। पुणी पठाणी सामंत महाविद्यालय अध्यक्ष थिबा बेले 2003 डिसेम्बर रे एहार रजत जयंती दक्षतार सह पालन करथिले। आपणक अध्यक्षतार कार्य करुवा महाविद्यालय जातीय सेवा संस्था कार्यक्रम 2003 रु 2004 वर्ष पई प्रकृति मित्र पुरस्कार लाभ करिथिला। परिवेश संपर्क उल्लेखनीय कार्य पई राज्य जंगल और परिवेश विभाग तरफरु एही पुरस्कार मिलिथिला। नयागढ़ एही सुपरिचित संस्था निस्वार्थर प्रतिष्ठा तथा यार कार्यक्रम रे आपणकर प्रमुख भूमिका रहिथिला। आपण निखिल उत्कल दर्शन परिषदर सदस्य थाई एहार अधिवेशन मानकरे जोग देवा सहित गवेषणात्मक प्रबंध पाठ करिसंती तथा एथिरे सम्मान वक्ता और विभागीय सभापति भावरे कार्य करी प्रशंसित होइछंती। आपणक द्वारा रचित शंकराचार्य पुस्तक ओडिशा राज्य पाठ्य पुस्तक प्रणयन और प्रकाशन संस्था द्वारा 1976 रे प्रकाशित होई पाठक मानक द्वारा आदृत होइतिबारु एहार द्वितीय संस्करण प्रकाश पाइछि। दर्शन क्षेत्र को आपणकर सामग्रिक अवदान रे प्रीत होई दर्शन परिवार आपण को संवर्धित करी गौरवान्वित मने करुछि एवं आपणकर दीर्घ निरामय और कर्ममय जीवन कामना करुछि। आंतरिक सम्मान सह आपणकर गुणमुग्ध निखिल उत्कल दर्शन परिषद सदस्य वृंद। सभापति सरोज कुमार महांती। नमस्कार।
सरोज सर अनम्यूट करन सर। अपन सर म्यूटेड अछन कि सुबुनी।
Thank you for reminding. Because it went disturbed, I mute it again. I forget. My thanks to Nivedita for reading out so clearly. Now I request sorry.
Murmay पढ़िले निवेदिता पढ़ियो ना
हाँ निवेदिता
The previous one was Mumbai. She was
this felicitation to Sudarshan Pujari. Please.
Sir, more ita.
এটা কহ তো এটা তো পড় দিও এটা কো
ସୁଦର୍ଶନ ପୂଜାରୀଙ୍କର ଏଟା ମୋର ସାର୍।
ହଁ ହଁ କୁହ ପ୍ଲିଜ।
ଅଧ୍ୟାପକ ଶ୍ରୀ ସୁଦର୍ଶନ ପୂଜାରୀ ସମ୍ମାନନୀୟ ଆପଣ ଯୁଗପତ୍ ଦର୍ଶନ ଶାସ୍ତ୍ର କ୍ଷେତ୍ରରେ ଜଣେ କୃତବିଦ୍ୟ ଅଧ୍ୟାପକ ତଥା ଓଡ଼ିଆ ସାହିତ୍ୟ ଜଗତରେ ଜଣେ ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠିତ କବି ଓ ପ୍ରାବନ୍ଧିକ ଅଟନ୍ତି। ଦର୍ଶନ ଶାସ୍ତ୍ର ସମ୍ମାନ ବିଷୟକୁ ନେଇ ଆପଣ 1970 ମସିହାରେ ସମ୍ବଲପୁରସ୍ଥ ଗଙ୍ଗାଧର ମେହେର ମହାବିଦ୍ୟାଳୟରୁ ସ୍ନାତକ, 1972 ମସିହାରେ ଉତ୍କଳ ବିଶ୍ୱବିଦ୍ୟାଳୟରୁ ଦର୍ଶନ ଶାସ୍ତ୍ରରେ ସ୍ନାତକୋତ୍ତର ଏବଂ ବିଶ୍ୱବିଦ୍ୟାଳୟ ଅନୁଦାନ ଆୟୋଗର ଶିକ୍ଷକ ବୃତ୍ତିଧାରୀ ଭାବେ 1979 ମସିହାରେ ଆନ୍ଧ୍ର ବିଶ୍ୱବିଦ୍ୟାଳୟରୁ ବିଶିଷ୍ଟାଚାର୍ଯ୍ୟ ଉପାଧି ଲାଭ କରିଥିଲେ। ଦର୍ଶନ ଶାସ୍ତ୍ରର ଅଧ୍ୟାପକ ଭାବେ ତାଳଚେର ମହାବିଦ୍ୟାଳୟ ଓ କୁଚିଣ୍ଡା ମହାବିଦ୍ୟାଳୟରେ ଏବଂ ପ୍ରାଧ୍ୟାପିକ ଭାବରେ ଝାରସୁଗୁଡ଼ାସ୍ଥ ଲକ୍ଷ୍ମୀନାରାୟଣ ମହାବିଦ୍ୟାଳୟରେ ଅଧ୍ୟାପନା କରି 2003ରୁ 2009 ମସିହା ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଅଟ୍ଟାବିରା ମହାବିଦ୍ୟାଳୟର ଅଧ୍ୟକ୍ଷ ଦାୟିତ୍ୱ ନିର୍ବାହ କଲା ପରେ ସେବାନିବୃତ୍ତ ହୋଇଥିଲେ। ଆପଣ ଅଧ୍ୟାପନାରେ ଯେପରି ପ୍ରଶାସନିକ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେପରି କର୍ମକୁଶଳତା ପ୍ରଦର୍ଶନ କରି ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ପ୍ରିୟପାତ୍ର ହୋଇଥିଲେ। ଆପଣ ନିଖିଳ ଉତ୍କଳ ଦର୍ଶନ ପରିଷଦର ଆଜୀବନ ସଦସ୍ୟ ଥାଇ ଏହାର ଅଧିବେଶନ ମାନଙ୍କରେ ଯୋଗ ଦେବା ସହିତ ଗବେଷଣାତ୍ମକ ପ୍ରବନ୍ଧ ପାଠ କରିଛନ୍ତି ତଥା ଏଥିରେ ସମ୍ପାନ ବକ୍ତା ଓ ବିଭାଗୀୟ ସଭାପତି ଭାବରେ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ କରି ବିଦ୍ୱତାର ପରିଚୟ ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି। ସ୍ୱୀୟ ପ୍ରତିଭା ବଳରେ ଆପଣ ଅନେକ ଦାୟିତ୍ୱପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ପଦପଦବୀରେ ରହିଛନ୍ତି। ସମ୍ବଲପୁର ବିଶ୍ୱବିଦ୍ୟାଳୟର ସିନେଟ ଓ ସିଣ୍ଡିକେଟର ସଦସ୍ୟ, ଏହାର ଶିକ୍ଷା କମିଟି, ଯୋଜନା କମିଟି, ଉପଦେଷ୍ଟା କମିଟି ତଥା ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ରୀୟ ସେବା ଯୋଜନାର ସଦସ୍ୟ, ଗଙ୍ଗାଧର ମେହେର ମହାବିଦ୍ୟାଳୟରେ ଦର୍ଶନ ବିଭାଗର ବୋର୍ଡ ଅଫ୍ ଷ୍ଟଡିଜ ଓ ବୋର୍ଡ ଅଫ୍ କଣ୍ଡକ୍ଟିଂ ଏକ୍ଜାମିନର୍ସ ସଦସ୍ୟ ମଧ୍ୟ ରହିଥିଲେ। ଏତଦ୍ବ୍ୟତୀତ ଉଚ୍ଚ ମାଧ୍ୟମିକ ଶିକ୍ଷା ପରିଷଦର ପରିଚାଳନା କମିଟି, ଅର୍ଥ କମିଟି, ସହବନ୍ଧନ କମିଟି ତଥା ତର୍କଶାସ୍ତ୍ର ବିଭାଗର ବୋର୍ଡ ଅଫ୍ ଷ୍ଟଡିଜର ସଦସ୍ୟ ଥିଲେ। ଅବସରକାଳୀନ ସମୟକୁ ଆପଣ ନାନା ସାମାଜିକ ଓ ସାଂସ୍କୃତିକ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟରେ ବିନିଯୋଗ କରି ସାହିତ୍ୟ ସାଧନାରେ ବ୍ରତୀ ରହିଛନ୍ତି। ସମ୍ବଲପୁର ସର୍ବସାଧାରଣ ପାଠାଗାର, ଶିକ୍ଷା ପରମ୍ପରା ଓ ସଂହତି ସଂଗଠନ SCTU, ଓଡ଼ିଶା ସାଂସ୍କୃତିକ ସମାଜ ଓ ଭାରତ ବିକାଶ ପରିଷଦର ଆପଣ ଜଣେ ସକ୍ରିୟ ସଭ୍ୟ ଅଟନ୍ତି। ପ୍ରବନ୍ଧ, କ୍ଷୁଦ୍ର ଗଳ୍ପ, କବିତା ରଚନା ଓ ସାହିତ୍ୟିକ ସମାଲୋଚନାରେ ଆପଣ ଜଣେ ଦକ୍ଷ ଶିଳ୍ପୀ। ଏ ଯାବତ୍ ଆପଣଙ୍କର 200ରୁ ଅଧିକ ରଚନା ଓଡ଼ିଆ ପତ୍ରପତ୍ରିକାରେ ପ୍ରକାଶିତ ହୋଇ ପାଠକୀୟ ସ୍ୱୀକୃତି ଲାଭ କରିଛି। ଏଥିରୁ କେତେକର ଇଂରାଜୀ ଓ ହିନ୍ଦୀ ଅନୁବାଦ ପ୍ରକାଶିତ ହୋଇ ଅଣଓଡ଼ିଆ ପାଠକଙ୍କ ଦ୍ୱାରା ଆଦୃତ ହୋଇଛି। ଆପଣ କିଛି କାଳ ପିଣ୍ଡା ନାମକ ଏକ ପତ୍ରିକାରେ ସମ୍ପାଦନ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ ମଧ୍ୟ କରିଛନ୍ତି। ଦର୍ଶନ ଜଗତକୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଏତେ ସବୁ ଅବଦାନରେ ପ୍ରୀତ ହୋଇ ଦର୍ଶନ ପରିବାର ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ସମ୍ବର୍ଦ୍ଧିତ କରି ଗୌରବାନ୍ୱିତ ମନେ କରୁଛି ଏବଂ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଦୀର୍ଘ, ନିରାମୟ ଓ କର୍ମମୟ ଜୀବନ କାମନା କରୁଛି। ଆନ୍ତରିକ ସମ୍ମାନ ସହ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଗୁଣମୁଗ୍ଧ ନିଖିଳ ଉତ୍କଳ ଦର୍ଶନ ପରିଷଦ ସଦସ୍ୟବୃନ୍ଦ। ସ୍ୱାକ୍ଷର ସଭାପତି ସରୋଜ କୁମାର ମହାନ୍ତି।
Thank you, Nivedita, for reading out these felicitations. And I thank all the readers who have read out these felicitations, Kalyani and Murmai, Nivedita, and these are the so thank you again for making this possible. And I now request the teachers who have been felicitated. Some of them may not be here. My friend Professor Nakula Ratha, he was suffering from COVID. So I would request his son, who is a professor, who is a teacher in physics, to reply on his behalf. And I request the beginning from Prasad to the persons in that order in which the presentations were prepared, read out, to reply to the felicitation. And here, let me also say that these felicitations will be sent to their place afterwards, because we are now meeting online and it is not possible to present them felicitations now, but with due respect, we will be sending the felicitations to their place address and all these ମାନପତ୍ର ସହିତ ଯାହା ଯାହା ଦେବା କଥା ଆମେ ସବୁ ତାଙ୍କ ଘରକୁ ପଠେଇ ପଠେଇବୁ। Pradwaj Pal, please, to say a few words in reply to the felicitation. Pradwaj, are you there? If he is not there, we can. Anybody, any respond? Is he present?
No, sir.
Then we can request Aravinda Das. Is he present?
ନାଇଁ ସାର୍ ଅରବିନ୍ଦ ସାର୍ ନାହାନ୍ତି, ତାଙ୍କୁ ଛାଡ଼ି ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ।
ଆର୍ତ୍ତତ୍ରାଣ ତ୍ରିପାଠୀ ଆର୍ତ୍ତବ ଅଛନ୍ତି କି?
ଖାଇପାରନ୍ତି, ମୁଁ କହିଥିଲି ଖାଇପାରନ୍ତି, ତାଙ୍କୁ ବି ଜ୍ୱର ହେଇଥିଲା।
ହଁ ସେ ସବୁ। And Nakula Ratha, because he is not very well, I request his son to say a few words. जे बापाଙ୍କ ଭଳି ତା ଅଧ୍ୟାପନାରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଜଏନ୍ କରିଛନ୍ତି। ବାପା ବେଟା ଫିଜିକ୍ସ ପଢଉଥିଲେ, ସେ ଫିଜିକ୍ସ ପଢଉଛନ୍ତି। So
କଣ ପୁଅ ନାଁ କଣ?
ବିଭୁ ପ୍ରିୟବ୍ରତ। ବିଭୁ, please say a few words.
ପ୍ରିୟବ୍ରତ ଅଛନ୍ତି?
You are present. Priyabhat, are you present?
No, sir.
अच्छा, ठीक है। अब सुदर्शन पुजारी।
ଲକ୍ଷ୍ମଣ ପୂଜାରୀ ସାର୍ ଅଛନ୍ତି କି?
ସୁଦର୍ଶନ ପୂଜାରୀ ସାର୍ ଦେଖୁଛି। No.
ନାହାନ୍ତି?
On their behalf, I thank all of you for felicitating them. And my special thanks to Professor Ganesh Prasad for preparing these felicitations.
Thank you.
And ये ସବୁ ତାଙ୍କର ମୋର ସ୍ୱାକ୍ଷର ବହନ କରୁଛି କି ତାଙ୍କର ଲେଖାଟା ହେଉଛି ଗଣେଶ ପ୍ରସାଦ ଦାସଙ୍କର। So ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତେ ନିଖିଳ ଉତ୍କଳ ଦର୍ଶନ ପରିଷଦ ତରଫରୁ ପ୍ରଫେସର ଗଣେଶ ପ୍ରସାଦ ଦାସକୁ ଆମର ଅଭିନନ୍ଦନ ଜଣାଉଛେ। ଏତେ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଭାବରେ ଲେଖିଛନ୍ତି ସେ, ଆଉ କେହି ୟାଠୁ ବେଟର କରିପାରିନଥାନ୍ତି ମୋ ଗୋଡ଼ରେ। And now we have to announce the essay competition results and the prizes to be awarded to the those who have participated in these essay competitions. Some memorial essay competitions we are organizing. Professor Das, Dr. Basant Kumar Das, the treasurer of AOPA, is requested to announce, to declare these results.
Respected President Sir, Saroj Sir, our Association Advisor Professor Kumar Mohapatra Sir, Vice President Professor Ganesh Prasad Sir, Chief Guest of this occasion Professor Sachchidananda Mishra, Member Secretary ICPR, Guest of Honor Sejukta Jagannath Das Sir, General Secretary Professor Felicitations Professor Mishra Sir, and General Secretary of AOPA Dr. Bhaskar Chandra Sahu, editor AOPA Journal, Dr. Ramchandra Majhi, and the Gita lecture, which will be delivered today by Professor Amulya Ranjan Mohapatra. Then our organizing secretary, Dr. Mohapatra, all the teachers, the students, and the lovers of philosophy, those who are joined in this wave mode of this particular session. Now I am going to declare the result of the competitions, essay competitions, which have been organized by AOPA for this session, that is 34th session of AOPA. And we have 3 different essay competitions. First is Professor S.K. Chattopadhyay Memorial Essay Competition for UG students. And the successful candidates are, first prize goes to Sumedha Pradhan of 3rd year arts, BJP Autonomous College, Bhubaneswar. Second prize goes to Pratyusha Bhoi, +3 second year of Rama Devi Women's University, Bhubaneswar. And third prize is a joint prize going to 2 students. One is Annapurna Mohapatra of +3 third year, Sishu Ananta Mahavidyalaya, Balipatana. And the other one is Ranjita Muduli of +3 third year, UN Autonomous College, Oraspur. Then Professor Ganesh Mishra Memorial Essay Competition for PG students. And we have 3 successful candidates. The first prize goes to Rajeshwari Karun, PG Part 2, GM University, Sambalpur. Second prize goes to Jayashree Mishra, PG Part 2, Utkal University, Banivihar. And third prize goes to Shilpa Behra, PG Part 2, SB Women's Autonomous College, Cuttack. And the third competition was Professor Krishna Prasad Mishra Memorial Essay Competition, that is for research scholars and MPhil students. And we have only one successful candidate. That is, first prize goes to Rukmani Das, research scholar, Utkal University, Banivihar. Thank you, sir.
सर अनम्यूट करंतु सर सर अनम्यूट करंतु आपनकर माइक टा म्यूट हे जाइछ
Usually when the papers are presented, we have a condition that they should be forwarded by the head of their institution. Some participants, some contributors could not do this, so they have not been taken into consideration because of that technical reason. I would request the students to take care of this in future. So I thank Professor Das, Dr. Kumar Das, for declaring the results. The prizes, the certificates and the prizes will be sent to their respective college or distribution to the participants. Now, we are coming to the end of this inaugural session. Dr. Lieutenant Dr. Mohapatra, before he thanks us, I would like to thank him for the excellent work he has been doing. All of you will agree that without his effort, in every step in organizing this could not have been possible. You can see the image in my background and in his background. They are his creations. I requested him in no time. He made. I wanted an image, but I was misled. I thought that if I post an image as he has posted the background image, if I post it, it showed that it is in mirror image. So I was frightened. If a mirror image is displayed, he said, "No, you don't worry. It is just in your screen. It is a mirror image. For others, it will not be a mirror image." But again, I could not trust him. I'm sorry for that. And I'm using a background image without text. That is again his contribution. In no time, he obliged me. And here also in conducting all these, displaying the books, displaying the felicitation addresses, all these things, we cannot imagine these activities could have been done better by anybody else. Artist or somebody else could not have done this at all. And he has done a very good work. I thank him on behalf of all of you. I now request him to thank us.
Thank you, sir. At first, I express my heartfelt gratitude to you and all the members of All Odisha Philosophy Association executive members to giving me this opportunity as a organizing secretary. Honorable Chief Guest, esteemed guest of honor, esteemed President AOPA, Vice President, General Secretary, Chief Editor, Treasurer, distinguished speakers, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. First of all, I, on behalf of AOPA, would like to express our heartfelt gratitude and indebtedness to Chief Guest, Professor Sachchidananda Mishra, Member Secretary, ICPR, New Delhi, for his address, which is indeed a much cherished distinction for all of us. We are really grateful to Professor Sachchidananda Mishra for sparing the time for us despite his busy schedule and presenting his views. His insights have really broadened our horizon, and his observation philosophy are highly intellectual and laden with thought-provoking ideas and opinions. We are immensely honored to have you, sir, as our chief guest. We would love to host you, sir, on many more such occasions in future. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to guest of honor, Sri Jagannath Das, formerly lecturer in philosophy and eminent writer, for gracing the event as a guest of honor and enlightening us on various aspects of philosophy, particularly about the self and its manifold implications. I owe a sense of deep gratitude to Sri Jagannath Das for taking the time to be with us. My sincere gratitude also goes out to Professor Prof. Kumar, Mohapatra, advisor AOPA, for his valuable words and encourage me from time to time. My sincere gratitude also goes to President AOPA Professor Saroj Mohanty for his kind approval to me as organizing secretary for the 34th annual conference, and time to time motivated me to organize a successful manner. I am beholden to Vice President AOPA Professor Ganesh Prasad, who is my teacher, my guide, my philosopher, for his perennial support and encouragement. He continues to inspire and motivate me time and again with his invaluable ideas, and I am really short of words to describe how instrumental his role. He has been an internal source of our progress and development. We are truly indebted to you, sir, for your close association with me and your continued patronage. I would like to express my gratitude to General Secretary AOPA, Dr. B.C.Sahoo, and all the official bearers of AOPA for their support. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Professor Chandra Majhi, Chief Editor, AOPA, and his team for the constant effort. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Dr. Basant Kumar Das, Treasurer, AOPA, for his dedication and creation a good amount of fund for the AOPA. I am a soldier, and my captains are my teacher, Professor Ganesh Prasad Das, and teachers of teacher, Professor Saroj Kumar Mohanty and Prof. Kumar Mohapatra. Last but not the least, I would also like to express my thankful to all the distinguished dignitaries, the faculty members of the philosophy department all over Odisha and out of Odisha, and participants for making this event a memorable one. Your involvement in the event has truly delighted me, and I am sure you must have been intellectual blessed and enlightened. Thank you all your presence. Thank you all of you.
Last but not the least, with the permission of the Honorable President, Professor Mohanty, one item is left out. That is the best.
Yes.
The best paper presentation award. Actually, last time, Srimati Bijayini Mohapatra contributed a substantial amount to AOPA, and out of the proceeds of that capital, we are giving the best paper writer of session some prize, and the last year's presentation prize goes to Dr. Ashok Tarai, GM University, Sambalpur. Professor Ramchandra Majhi conveyed this information to me. I thought that this would have been conveyed to Dr. Basant Das, but perhaps he is not in the knowledge of that. So, in his place, I just announced this with the permission of Dr. Mohanty, Professor Mohanty. This year's award goes to Dr. Ashok Tarai, GM University, Sambalpur. Now he has been a designated associate professor of Ravenshaw University. Congratulations to Dr. Tarai. Thank you.
Congratulations to Dr. Tarai, and thanks to Professor Ganesh Prasad Das for making this correction. It was not in the, I could not, when I wanted his help.
Thank you.
Professor Das for helping us in time. Now,
thank you, sir.
We now again thank Professor Mohapatra for all the work. Some like his background image so much that they say, why it should be our property, of the association property. And thank you, Lakshman, for all this.
ଗୋଟେ ବାହାର କରିଦେବା ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ଲାଷ୍ଟିକ ରେ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ବାହାର କରି ରଖିବା ଆଉ
ସେଟାକୁ ଆମେ ବ୍ୟାଚ୍ କରି ପାରିବା ଆଉ
କିନ୍ତୁ ସାର୍ ଗୋଟେ ଅଡୁଆ ହେଇଛି ତାରି ନିଜ ଜିଲ୍ଲା ଯୋଉଠି ରହିଛି କୋରାପୁଟରେ ସେଇଟାକୁ ସରୁଆ କରିଦେଇଛି
पेटेंट କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ସାର୍
ଭୁଲ କାଢିବାର ତ ଆପଣ ଓସ୍ତାଦ ଆଉ
Lakshman has been the savior during the pandemic.
Yes.
So he will continue to do that as long as the pandemic continues.
Corona philosophy hero. Corona philosophy hero.
Professor Mohapatra has been our Corona hero. He has recovered and he is a source of inspiration for all of us who are suffering, and we will continue to get his guidance.
I have forgotten about that. Thank you for reminding me.
ଆପଣ ଭୁଲିଗଲେ କଣ ହବ ଆମେ ତ ସେଇ ଯୋଉ
sorry for reminding you.
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଏତେ ନର୍ମଦା ପରିଡ଼ା was raising hand କଣ କିଛି କହିବାର ଅଛି Narmada was raising her hand in a meeting